Hi, my name is Andrew and I'm one of the makers of Tadpole Tales.
When all hope was lost, a tiny brave tadpole breaks its shell.
To play a game that came out on Steam very recently called Tadpole Tales.
Yes! Yes! There's a shot coming at us. Better than the devs! We beat the dev time!
Que le den por culo.
I built different! Woo!
With no marketing experience and game making experience, we managed to finish our first game. We got over 50,000 downloads in just a week, and now in a month we got 100,000 downloads. In this video, I will be showing you some stats and, more importantly, give you some tips and advice on how to create an organic and healthy game dev experience. I did a lot of research on how indies marketed their game, and it seems that a lot of them use social media to create a public presence. Whether it is YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, or Instagram, we had to get started talking about our game. Instead of hiding in our basement and keeping it within ourselves, it is important to get yourself out there and share your passion and be vocal about it. So that's my tip number one. Create a social presence as soon as possible. Whether it is your game or just yourself as a game developer, designer, musician, or artist, the more vocal you are, the better. Just like one of the devs, Team Ruswick, said, work out loud. Of course, now even if this is very organic, the problem with it is that it takes a long time. The time that you could have spent on development. But that is marketing, especially if you're going indie. This is probably the healthiest and also cheapest way to market your game, because it's free. Tip number two, set up your Steam page as soon as possible, so people can start wishlisting your game. Even if your ideas are bound to change, I think it is important to give access to people to support your game as soon as possible. There's a video made by Jonas recently that you should check it out, and it talks a whole lot more in depth about opening a Steam page and how Steam page work. And also, by the way, I won't go in absolute extreme details about how exactly I market stuff, but I will give you guys my approach and mindset, as those have been extremely helpful to me. Making games is a very taxing endeavor for both the mind and body. We stay on our chair looking at our screen for most of the time, and sometimes we inject ourselves with coffee to keep us going. And I believe that to have a healthy mindset is probably one of the most crucial things you need when finishing your project. At least this is how I see it, because otherwise I would have not been able to finish my game. And this leads me to tip number three. Make friends. Be genuinely interested in what others are doing. I know it is important to promote yourself, but nobody likes a self-centered character. So try not to use your social media just to promote your work. Create relationships, bond with people, make friends, and you'll see that you'll have a much more pleasant time. If I wasn't vocal about my work, I would have not met all of these wonderful people. And I truly believe that they helped me and propelled me towards where I am now. We are an industry of people that make a lot of wonderful things that brings a lot of joy and smiles to a lot of people. Therefore, it makes sense why we are a community that is supportive and loving and that has a lot to give and to offer. We all understand that making games is not easy and there is a lot of struggle. If you connect with like-minded people, you will see yourself in a much better place than before. If it was not for the friendships that I made along the way, I don't think I would have gotten this far. I had so many friends repost and retweet our launch. That was such a heartwarming feeling. Working on Tadpole Tales has been a bliss because of the friends I've made. Launching the game, celebrating it on Steam with you all, and seeing people play our game, I wouldn't trade these memories for anything else. So, if you're just starting out, or you're in the middle, or about to end, at any point, you should start forming a community, set up a Discord probably, make a YouTube channel if you're into making YouTube videos, start a Twitter account, find a platform that you really like, be there and talk about your games, and connect with others that are also interested in games. This was the mindset that I tried my best to maintain, and that I think that it has served me very well. I was able to finish my first ever project with a smile on my face, and now I'm hungrier than ever to start our next one. So I really think that having a very disciplined and strong mindset when working on your passion project, it's really important to keep those afloat. If you want to find out more about what we are working on next, we made a website that shows some of the concept art Giacomo has already started making. You can hop on there and have a look. I mean, this is probably one of the most fun and exciting part of game dev, which is brainstorming and coming up with ideas. So we decided to take you with us from this journey on the very start. I can't wait to start making devlogs about our next game and have a second game under our belt. I hope that you managed to find some inspiration, motivation, or even some insight from this video. A lot of things that I said I think are easier than said than done, and sometimes it might sound really easy, but being genuine about something is actually quite difficult, and it's also difficult to tell whether someone is genuine or not. And also there is a balance, right? You can't always be out and social. You have to kind of split it 50-50 or 60-40 or even 30-70 depending on what works for you. And with that type of mindset, I'm sure you'll not only finish your game, but you'll also be a lot happier when you'll be finishing your game. Thank you guys so much for watching. As you can see from the stats that I've shown, I don't know if it's impressive or not. Like I said, for me, what was more important was the fact that I managed to finish a game and I wasn't burned out by it to the point that I didn't want to keep on making. In fact, I want to make more. And I think that's a huge victory for me and Giacomo, especially since we're just testing the waters. We don't know how to make games properly. Well, now we made one, but you get me, okay? But yeah, until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day and take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
I feel like as long as you learn from each project, you can still grow as a person and as a developer and become better and better over time. So I don't really regret not finishing most of them, especially now.
So I think if you before you start any sort of thing like that, like a Kickstarter, then you need to, or any major decision, you need to just make sure you know what steps there are and what alternative plans there are if it doesn't go the way you imagine and stuff like this.
It's easy to forget that the project exists outside of you, that other people might enjoy it, because until you put it out there, it's sort of just all in your head, so stuff like this where I can actually see that people care about is really nice. So I really do appreciate it.